Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is Rafia Mudassir from the platform of Pakistan Teachers Forum, and we are here with the last session of the Winter Retreat program for teachers. And today we have Kashfia with us, who is a maths specialist, educator, a researcher, and she has a long experience teaching as well as researching. So I will hand over to her to introduce herself formally and then start the session. And whatever questions you may have, you can put in the comments on Zoom, those who have joined on Zoom and those who are watching us live on our YouTube channel. And then I will be posting this link on the Facebook page as well and the group. So these questions will be answered by Kashfia during the session, and if you add them after the session, she will revisit the page where we are sharing these links and reply to you all. Thank you so very much, and over to Kashfia.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am Kashfia Latafat. And Ms. Rafia, kindly allow me to share my screen.
Okay, just a minute. Ji, Kashfia, you may share.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Kashfia Latafat, and this is the last session of Winter Retreat program series. And I welcome you all, and I hope that by the end of this session, you will be able to get some knowledge or to extend or further enhance your knowledge in the area of learning, that how people learn. This is the first part of my session, in which I am exploring that how people learn. And then after when we reach in the middle, then I put up next question, and then you will see that how we will take on this presentation. So I will start with it. As you all know my name, I am lecturer, researcher, teacher, educator, mentor, and trainer. I am working in different capacities almost this year, 18 years, almost 18 years now. I have done double masters, B.Ed and PDQ in teaching and learning from Cambridge University, and associated with different prestigious organizations. I have used to go many conferences every year, and my papers are published there as well in national and international both levels. And you can find my work on ResearchGate Network, where my 13 publications are there. So with this, I would like to take you towards the presentation. Yes, as a researcher, I always started my presentation where theory connects with the practice. So I am looking forward to मैं हमेशा चाहती हूँ कि theories पे baseline को touch करते हुए हम अपने topic को cover करें, ताकि जब तक कि theories आप correct नहीं होते, आप practice आपकी improve नहीं होती. So in that way, the first one you have seen is Piaget theory of cognitive development. The second one is Vygotsky's theory of cognitive development in social relationships. And the last but not least is Howard Gardner theory of multiple intelligence. These are the main baseline theories or turning points, I must say, in the history of teaching and learning, where we can be able to somehow to decide some benchmark that, okay, this is the way people are learning, children are learning. So I will take you towards the first one first, that is Piaget's theory. It's not moving. Okay. If the screen changes or the same slide has been shared there. Can anyone reply?
नहीं change होगी है. It's no, it's the same.
Same na? I don't. Okay, now it's changed. Okay, Piaget theory of cognitive development is basically a theory which in of one of its kind, that in this theory, children's intelligence undergoes changes as they grow. Just researchers Jean Piaget suggests that the children basically जब grow करते हैं तो उनके intelligence levels में उनके changes आती हैं. So that is the first theory who explained that children develop through stages. और उन्होंने वो stages भी हमें explain की. He also studied how children learn, and he found out that they learn by doing things and not just listening or reading about them. You see that learning is first attempt used by John Dewey, a very famous researcher and educationist. And then in this series, people connected their own assumptions and theories with this phenomena. And this is the one Piaget's theory, which added on that, yes, people are learning by doing things and not just listening or reading about them, that they need to have some practical approaches in their learning process. Then they will be able to learn in a better way. He also discovered that children have their own ways of learning and that they don't always follow the same rules as adults do. So I am in a better position that I also teach children and adults, both of them. And I really feel that difference because when we are talking about children are usually learning with the activities around with the different concrete materials, by giving in their hand, by drawing, by developing their conclusions in that way. But adults are having a different approach towards it. They are learning by using their experiences in their lives, in their surroundings. So that is how it works. And here you can see different stages which I talked about in the beginning, that sensoromotor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. According to the years, like the first one is showing that birth to 2 years, that understands world through senses and actions. That is the point where child start interacting within their own circle, their own family, their parents, their siblings, and the family or the persons around the houses, in their house. In the same manner, जब आप प्री ऑपरेशनल स्टेज की बात करते हैं तो 2 till 7 years की एज होती है. इसमें इसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग जो होती है थ्रू लैंग्वेज एंड मेंटल इमेजेस होती है. लाइक इट एक्सटेंडेड, उसका जो सर्कल होता है वो इंक्रीज होना शुरू होता है. वो स्कूल में जाके इंटरेक्शन स्टार्ट करता है, उसके अराउंड भी वो अपने एनवायरनमेंट, उसके एनवायरनमेंट बढ़ती चली जाती है. एंड दैट अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट उसकी लर्निंग भी इम्प्रूव होती है. ठीक है, उसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी इम्प्रूव होती है. कॉन्क्रीट ऑपरेशनल जो एरिया है 7 till 12 वाला, वहां पे दे स्टार्ट थिंकिंग, लॉजिकल थिंकिंग एंड कैटेगराइज द थिंग्स. वो कनेक्शंस डेवलप करने लगते हैं, ग्रुपिंग करने लगते हैं चीजों की अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर अंडरस्टैंडिंग्स. और इस तरह से जब आप फॉर्मल ऑपरेशनल साइड पे जाते हैं तो 12 years ऑनवर्ड्स अंडरस्टैंड्स वर्ल्ड थ्रू हाइपोथेटिकल थिंकिंग एंड साइंटिफिक रीजनिंग. यानी कि लॉजिकल थिंकिंग एंड रीजनिंग के थ्रू वो एब्स्ट्रैक्ट आइडियाज को क्लियर आउट करते हैं, अपने पास के अंडरस्टैंडिंग और रिमेम्बरिंग उसकी डेवलप करते हैं, कनेक्ट करते हैं प्रीवियस लर्निंग और न्यू लर्निंग को. एंड दैट इज हाउ इट वर्क्स. Now see that what Vygotsky's theory of cognitive development in social relationships share with us. This is the same, Vygotsky used the same for footprints of Piaget's, but what's the difference in between both of them is that कि यहाँ पे उसने बात की है सोशल रिलेशनशिप्स की, और मैंने भी आपसे बात की कि जब एक बच्चा होता है जो कि बर्थ के बाद उसका सर्कल इंक्रीज होता जाता है, उसकी सोशल इंटरेक्शन इंक्रीज होती है, उसके साथ साथ उसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग और अराउंड फॉर द वर्ल्ड अराउंड देम या एनवायरनमेंट अराउंड देम हैज बीन चेंज्ड. इसी तरह विगोस्की की थ्योरी इस पे बेस्ड है कि इसमें सोशल रिलेशनशिप्स का बहुत बड़ा मेजर रोल होता है. The principle of social development theory is that cognitive development is limited to a certain range at any given age. Full cognitive development requires social interaction, जिसको उन्होंने नाम दिया था zone of proximal development, ZPD. So हम यहाँ पे वो बात कर रहे हैं उसी स्टेजेस की जिसकी बात पियाजेट ने की, बट एड ऑन कर रहे हैं इसमें सोशल रिलेशनशिप्स यानी कि कोलैबोरेटिव लर्निंग. लर्निंग फ्रॉम सोशल एस्पेक्ट्स, लाइक अगर आप बच्चा स्कूल क्यों भेजते हैं, हम स्कूल इसलिए भेजते हैं, स्पेसिफिक लर्निंग एनवायरनमेंट मिलती है जिसमें उसे लर्निंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलती हैं, उसको सपोर्टिव सोशल कॉन्टैक्ट्स होते हैं जिससे वो कनेक्ट करता है अपनी और कंस्ट्रक्ट करता है मुझसे न्यू नॉलेज। इन द सेम मैनर इसमें अगर आप देखते हैं कि होम स्कूलिंग में जो बच्चे होते हैं तो उनके उनके घर में भी उनको कोई एक ऐसी फिगर होता है, उनके इन्वायरमेंट में ऐसी एक फिगर होती है जो उनको हेल्प आउट करती है, उनको फैसिलिटेट करती है, उनको सपोर्ट करती है, उनके लिए वो अपॉर्चुनिटीज डेवलप करती है या क्रिएट करती है जिससे उनकी लर्निंग एनहांस हो सके। यू कैन सी दैट जोन ऑफ प्रॉक्सिमल डेवलपमेंट का आइडिया जो मैं आपसे बात कर रही थी, दैट in these circles, I continuously using the word the circle around the child, and I am showing that with the help of these circles that in the green area you see what I can do. This is the part where the learner is right now, that is zone of achieved development Z, and in the orange part you can see what I can do with help. Here this is the part where a social interaction is there, social relationship is there to facilitate, to guide the child. And this is the area where we call that zone of proximal development, where the child improved or reached by the help or support of their elders. What needs to be done to take the learner where he needs to be is the part where the teacher or the parent or the any sibling or any adult is going to support the child, and where white area is that what I can't do. So that is how it works. I further explain that you know that what is known and what is not known. Zone of proximal development, what support it gives, that skills too difficult for a child to master on his or her own, but that can be done with guidance and encouragement from a knowledgeable person. That knowledgeable person can anyone in the environment, and that is how the learning process move on. So this is the Vygotsky's theory. Then I am taking you very quickly towards the multiple intelligence theory, and there are some key features. This is the theory which was proposed by Harvard Gardner, and this is the latest one in this series in the sense that it gives a very different kind of picture. They shared that intelligence is not like that. जैसे हम कहते हैं ना, ये तो born talent है. Born talent is there maybe, but you can develop that specific talent within you by learning certain skills, by working on different styles, different techniques to how to improve yourself. As we are teachers, तो अगर हमारी कहीं किसी एरिया में लैकिंग है, लाइक आई एम मैथमेटिक्स टीचर और आई एम नॉट गुड विद द लिंग्विस्टिक एरिया, तो मुझे अपने लिंग्विस्टिक एरिया को भी इम्प्रूव करना बहुत जरूरी है, एंड आई कैन डू दैट विद द स्पेसिफिक ट्रेनिंग्स, सेशंस और प्रैक्टिसेस, एक्सपीरियंसेस. सो इस तरह से हम अपनी उन एरियाज को भी कवर अप कर सकते हैं. तो दैट थ्योरी सजेस्ट दैट इंटेलिजेंस इज अ बायोलॉजिकल और साइकोलॉजिकल पोटेंशियल. There are multiple and independent intelligences. Intelligences always interact with one another. एक जरूरी नहीं कि एक एरिया आपका स्ट्रॉन्ग है तो आप दूसरे एरिया में टच नहीं कर सकते. दे यू कैन ऑलवेज इंटरैक्ट विद वन अनदर. यू यूज वन इंटेलिजेंस टू सपोर्ट द अनदर वन in another area, in another field of field where you are not excel or not excelling, or you are trying to cope up with the difficulties. Each person has a unique intelligence profile. Intelligences are educable. Yes, they change and grow. As I discussed in the beginning, कि हम उनको change भी कर सकते हैं और further enhance भी कर सकते हैं और grow भी कर सकते हैं उस area में. Intelligences can be learned throughout life. Yes, in this theory is that not specifically talking about the academic area, कि हम सिर्फ classroom learning की बात नहीं कर रहे जो हमारे college, school, universities में हो रही होती है. This is the theory which give you a clear picture about intelligences, that it can be learned throughout the life. एक life practice है. Being a Muslim है, हमारा ईमान है कि जिस दिन हम पैदा होते हैं उस दिन से और जब तक हम कब्र भी नहीं चले जाते हैं हमारी learning stop नहीं होती. We learn each and every day with each and every task which we are doing day by day. So this is how the life works. You see, that theory of multiple intelligence is Howard Gardner's theory that proposes that people are not born with all of the intelligence they will ever have. It says that everyone is intelligent in at least 9 different ways and can develop each aspect of intelligence to an average level by competency. So you see कि he suggests कि कोई people are not born with all intelligence. सारी intelligence लेके नहीं आते सब दुनिया में, हम कहीं लैग भी कर रहे होते हैं, जिसको हम through support, through facilitation, through guidance improve भी कर लेते हैं, through specific training. Like हम teachers हैं, हम जिस एरिया में प्रॉब्लम हम फेस करते हैं, हमें फीडबैक आता है कि जी आपका ये एरिया वीक है, so we work on that, and that is why the professional development is really very important. We learned about different pedagogies, we learn how to improve teaching and learning practices. In that way we can develop the area where we are lacking or where we need further improvement. In the same manner, this theory is also suggested in the same area. Intelligence as defined by Gardner is the ability to solve problems that are valuable in one or more cultural settings. So see that Howard Gardner suggests these 9 areas. I'm sharing my own experience with you that I am very good with intrapersonal area, intelligence and logical mathematical since the beginning when I was a student. But somehow when I start moving and start my career as a teacher, I realized that I have to cover up the linguistic area and the interpersonal skills as well, to especially when I become the head of the department and I have to interact with many people, not just with the children, with the adults, with the team, everyone. So here I feel that sensing people's feelings and motives, it's really very important. So I really work very hard. I go through different trainings. I learn with my experiences. I conducting sessions by the end of my meetings to take feedback around my working, and that is how I improve in this area. So you see that we all can excel in any area. We all can reach up till required level in in these multiple intelligence areas. So here the next part of my presentation arrives. Okay, in the beginning I said that I will extend this question, so that is how I will extend that. How do people learn most effectively? As in the beginning I said that I always started with the learning theories, so that is how I will connect my own research and understanding with it, along with the practices which are moving on in that area. So this is the very common phrase or question which people usually ask, that how do people learn? But believe me, this is such a rich and powerful question. I have effectively dedicated my life to answering it. So please accept the following only as a snapshot in time, as I have many decades more, hopefully, to work on this very useful question for humanity. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me some more time or more years to work in the same area, so inshallah मैं इस और workout करूँगी. But right now what I am sharing is it's almost 10 to 15 years work of mine around how people learn. Yes, as according to research, that 3 pillars of research in the learning sciences are construction, cognition, and community. In my point of view, that construction and cognition and community are the 3 C's which connect together. That is how the learning or the learning enhancement possibility is there. Otherwise, if one point C is missing, we cannot connect with the process. We are not being able to attain our learning outcomes. No matter how beautiful, how smart objectives we set to develop the lesson plan and teach to the classrooms, to the learners, but the learners will not be able to connect them with those learning objectives, even because all of these 3 C's like construction, cognition, community, if they are not handled carefully. So you will see, we started with the construction first. As के जैसे आप एग्जाम्पल ले लेंगे, एक बिल्डिंग की कंस्ट्रक्शन होती है, एक सपोज एक रूम भी हम कंस्ट्रक्ट करते हैं, तो पहले हम आर्किटेक्ट प्लान करता है, फिर हमें पता होता है ये चीज यहाँ है, ये चीज यहाँ है, इस तरह हम रिसोर्सेज ये हैं, और फिर हम उसकी कंस्ट्रक्शन स्टार्ट करते हैं. इन द सेम मैनर लर्निंग हैपेंस व्हेन वी बिल्ड और मेक थिंग्स. जब हम चीजें बनाने की तरफ जाते हैं, उनके बारे में सोचते हैं, तो इन एडिशन टू द फिजिकल और डिजिटल आउटपुट ऑफ आवर वर्क एंड व्हाट वी हैव टू लर्न इन ऑर्डर टू कंप्लीट देम, हमें उनको कंप्लीट करने के लिए, उन लर्निंग आउटकम्स को अचीव करने के लिए हमें क्या प्रोसेस से गुजरना पड़ेगा, दैट इज द प्रोसेस व्हिच वी कॉल कंस्ट्रक्शन. वी आर आल्सो फोर्स्ड टू कंस्ट्रक्ट न्यू मेंटल मॉडल्स, analogies, memories, and synaptic connections while we build or create things to add to our world. एक नॉलेज एक किसी भी चीज की इंफॉर्मेशन हमारे माइंड में जब तक सेटल डाउन नहीं होती, जब तक कि हम इस पूरे प्रोसेस से नहीं गुजरते, और जरूरी नहीं कि एक सेटअप आपने सोच लिया है तो हम उससे आगे कहीं नहीं जाएंगे। अगर एक पेडागोजी वर्कआउट नहीं कर रही है, एक पेडागोजी वर्कआउट कर रही है और हम उससे बेटर रिजल्ट चाहते हैं, कुछ और अच्छा स्मार्टली करना चाहते हैं, तो हमें अपने मेंटल मॉडल्स को चेंज करना पड़ता है। वी नीड टू बैक एंड फोर्थ रिफ्लेक्ट ऑन आवर प्रैक्टिसेस एंड कंस्ट्रक्ट the working schemes and models which work more effectively than the previous one. That is how the cycle move on. It's a continuous cycle in which the learning happens. Otherwise, if it breaks, the whole system shut down. It's not like that कि हम एक चीज को रोक लेंगे और फिर दूसरी चीज पर jump out कर जाएंगे, ऐसे नहीं होता. Learners construct knowledge how that you will see remembering, understanding, applying, creating, evaluating, analyzing. All these are visible, very much visible in that process of construction. Then basically these are the Bloom's taxonomy. I think most of the teachers are aware of that, and we are working with these. Not just we are, but learners are also working on these this taxonomy, as it really very supportive and helping us to develop or to achieve our targets, our learning outcomes, our learning objectives. In the construction of knowledge, learners basically क्या हो रहा होता है? Learners apply current understandings, note relevant elements, judge the consistency of prior and emerging knowledge. Prior knowledge का connection जब तक आप current knowledge के साथ नहीं जोड़ेंगे, it never works. वो आपके mental model नया develop ही नहीं होगा, आप कहीं ना कहीं lack कर रहे होंगे, या वो बहुत temporary होगा कि जो एक task के बाद खत्म हो जाएगा. Knowledge construction should like be that कि it should remain retained with the child. So based on that judgment may modify knowledge. Then this happened. So you see that how important that first one construction C is. Now I'm going to take you towards the cognition. Okay, cognition. Learning happens when we think things. हम जब सोचना शुरू करते हैं कंस्ट्रक्शन प्रोसेस में डिफरेंट चीजों के बारे में, at that time we make observations, we process feedback from our environment, we simulate and predict, and then we update our predictions. All of this is really hard to see, since it's often just a facial expression of being lost in thought. हम जब देखते हैं अच्छा ये एक प्रोसेस में है, एक एक्टिविटी में है, और वो एक उसमें एक थॉट आपको फेज में नजर आता है आपका लर्नर, तो दिस इज नॉट द थिंग विच प्रूव कि हाँ जी वो एक कॉग्निटिव थिंकिंग की तरफ कॉग्निशन में है, कॉग्निटिव प्रोसेस इज गोइंग ऑन. It's not like that. What we need here, so we have come up with things like tests and assessments to try to get at how people have started thinking differently based on readings, observations, and conversations. There is still a lot more to learn about how we think and how we modify our thinking over time. You see that perceiving, reasoning, evaluating, judging, learning, remembering, all are the parts of that cognition process. When the construction is there, cognition is automatically there. Both the C's, you see, they are interconnected. We cannot left behind one and take that one cognition ले लेते हैं, अच्छा जी इस पे workout. No, it's not like that. We need to work in a process. When we work on construction, we automatically switching into the thinking process. That is cognition. आप अपने learners में cognition को कैसे workout करेंगे? We will work in that area, that through questioning, through scaffolding question at every level of the lesson plan. आपकी beginning, आपका middle, आपका last connected हो question से, तो that is how you will know that where your learner were and now where they are by the end of the lesson. Cognition is really very important, and we need to develop the activities around which the learners will start thinking around. Bedtime strategy use कीजिए, यानी कि AFL techniques और tools are really very helpful in between the learning, during the learning, the beginning of the learning. You can review their prior knowledge through questioning. Then you will connect the new learning, introduce new learning, and connect it with that prior knowledge. So that is how they start making new model in their minds. The construction started with the help of cognition. So now we will see that what's the last C is doing within this process. Now my slide is not moving. So the last is community. Slide is hand. Somehow maybe there is a signaling issue or something. I will start explaining you. Maybe that will move on after some time. Community की बात की थी मैंने. The last C was the community. Community is basically what we are right now, what we are doing. You can see that we are here. हम अभी क्या कर रहे हैं? हम एक community तो हैं, teachers community है. We are working together to explore many different ways how to improve our teaching and learning practices. In the same manner, जब हम community की बात करते हैं, वो learning process में बहुत important role play करती है. Where we learn with the similar group में हम एक अपनी लोगों के साथ survival के लिए अपनी learning improve करने के लिए साथ workout करते हैं, collaborative approach में काम करते हैं. That is how the community plays the role. So community building is really very important, and this is the point which Vygotsky also highlighted through social relationship. In the same manner, it discussed in the multiple intelligence theory. So you see that how I connect theory with your actions. We are currently working with many processes or many activities in which we work in groups, but we need to think harder before developing any group activity or any teamwork. That is that required? Is that working? Is that all the 3 C's are connected in it, like the construction, cognition, and community? So that is how it works. Up for the sake of मैं अक्सर अपने टीचर्स को, फ्यूचर टीचर्स जिनको मैं टीच करती हूँ, उनको मैं एक्सप्लेन करती हूँ कि ग्रुप वर्क सिर्फ इस सेक के, नॉट फॉर द सेक ऑफ कि सिर्फ एक ग्रुप एक्टिविटी करवानी है. इसके बिहाइंड एक पूरा प्रोसेस होता है जिसको हमें वर्कआउट करना होता है. आई थिंक मेरी स्लाइड नहीं मूव हो रही है, बट इट आई विल मूव ऑन. एज यू ऑल हैव अ मेजर पार्ट, मेजर चंक तो आप देख चुके हैं इसका. दैट कम्युनिटी में हम कैसे बिल्डअप करते हैं? हम आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं अपने पार्टनर को, नेबरहुड को, फिर हम उसके साथ अपनी डिटरमाइन द partnership, then we will move on to connect with each other, then we organize and lead towards the excel in that area. How? With learning together and not leading together, not like this कि एक आदमी lead करेगा और एक दूसरा उसको follow करेगा. Not in that way. We work together and then we start linking with other people. तो इस तरह से हमारा network increase होता है और we learning with help, support and फैसिलिटेशन ऑफ ईच अदर. इसी तरह जैसे हमारी ये PTF की लर्निंग कम्युनिटी है जिसमें हम मूव ऑन कर रहे हैं. in that same manner we will move on in a learning process. That is, then when these 3 C's connected, then our learning achieved, then the people learn most effectively. In my process, I will take you in that way कि मैं जब questioning मैं अपने आप से questions करती हूँ, जो मेरे साथ लोग काम करते हैं मैं उनको भी support करती हूँ और motivate करती हूँ कि वो अपने आप से ये questions जरूर पूछें. Like construction में मैं क्या चीजें नहीं workout कर रही हूँ? Is that any construction in my prior knowledge? अगर है तो is that beneficial for me? देखिए, रिफ्लेक्टिव प्रैक्टिस की बात बहुत ज्यादा होती है. बीइंग अ टीचर, बीइंग अ एजुकेटर, यू नीड टू रिफ्लेक्ट अगेन एंड अगेन ऑन all these 3 C's. Then you will be able to come up to the point जहाँ पे learning occurred, learning होती है, learning accomplish होता है आपका टास्क, आप एक accomplishment के फेस में आते हैं. So that is the point where you need to realize कि आप कहाँ पे हमारे पास प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, हम उसको बैक एंड फोर्थ जाते हैं, आगे जाते हैं, फिर पीछे आते हैं, फिर उसको करेक्ट करते हैं, फिर उसको चेक करते हैं. दिस इज अ कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस, इसलिए कहते हैं कंटिन्यूइंग प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट. सो इफ इट स्टॉप एट वन पॉइंट, जी आज मैंने अभी ये कोर्स कर लिया है, अब इससे आगे मैं नहीं देखूंगी, अब मैं अपनी ठीक है, आपके लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंसेस काउंट करते हैं, बट हमें अपने वर्किंग स्टाइल को अगेन एंड अगेन, बीइंग एन एजुकेटर, टीचर, रिसर्चर, हमें बैक एंड फोर्थ चेक करना पड़ता है. वो हम चेक करते हैं रिफ्लेक्टिव थॉट्स, रिफ्लेक्टिव प्रैक्टिस से. जब हम रिफ्लेक्ट बैक करते हैं अपनी प्रोग्रेस पे, तो वो हमारे लर्नर्स की भी इंप्रूवमेंट आती है, उसका इम्पैक्ट हमारे लर्नर्स पे भी आता है और हम पर भी आता है. दैट इज हाउ द टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग प्रैक्टिसेस हैव बीन इम्प्रूव्ड. So this is the end of my presentation, that how people learn. And I must say that now we have to realize that this is the point now that 2022 is over and we are on the doorstep of almost there at 2023. And I'm looking forward कि अगर हम अपनी thinking patterns को enhance नहीं करेंगे, हम वहीं पे stuck रहेंगे, एक sheep mentality में काम करेंगे, तो it's very difficult for us to move on. एक बड़ा अच्छी मैं कहूँगी कि न्यू स्टार्ट जो हमें कोविड के बाद मिला, तो हम अब उस पॉइंट पे आ गए हैं. उससे पहले पॉसिबिलिटी नजर नहीं आती थी बीइंग एन रिसर्चर और एजुकेटर मुझे कि हम कूप अप कर सकें, उस गैप को फिल अप कर सकें जो कि एक इंटरनेशनल एजुकेशन सिस्टम में और हमारे सिस्टम में. लेकिन अब कुछ पॉसिबिलिटी है कि इसलिए जब अब जो बात ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव की बात हो रही है, जो सस्टेनेबल गोल्स की बात हो रही है, वो हम इस टेक्नोलॉजी को, इस गैप को फिल इन करने के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं. अब हम उस फेज में हैं कि हम इस गैप को कवर अप कर सकते हैं अगर हम इन ग्राउंड्स पे काम करें जिन पे हम बात कर रहे हैं. सिर्फ बात ना करें, उनके ऊपर वर्कआउट करें. हम सोचें और सोचेंगे, रिफ्लेक्ट बैक करेंगे, तो then we will be able to explore or something new or something which is not which is as I am always saying that के लोग बड़ा अजीब से भी हो जाते हैं. मैं ये कहती हूँ कि हम वेस्ट को पूरी तरह फॉलो नहीं करेंगे. क्यों नहीं करेंगे? इसलिए कि उनके अपने सर्कमस्टेंसेस हैं, हमारे 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 सर्कमस्टेंसेस हैं. हमारे यहाँ कभी लाइट नहीं आ रही है तो कभी इंटरनेट नहीं चल रहा है, कभी हैंग हो गया. लाइक मेरे सेशन में अभी आपके सामने है कि मेरी स्लाइड हैंग हो गई और नहीं मूव कर रही है. तो बट आई हैव टू सर्वाइव. तो हमें अपनी थिंकिंग मॉडल्स डेवलप करने, अपनी प्रैक्टिसेस को, अपनी इन्वायरमेंट को, अपनी रिक्वायरमेंट को देखते हुए. हमारे पास इतनी हाई फाई रिसोर्सेज नहीं है. हम अपने लो कॉस्ट या नो कॉस्ट रिसोर्सेज डेवलप करने की जरूरत है अपने वर्किंग स्कीम्स में. अपने बच्चों के साथ हमें अपने बच्चों को भी इसी तरह ट्रेन करना है. अगर हम अपने माइंडसेट्स को, अपने पैराडाइम शिफ्ट करेंगे तो हम अपने स्टूडेंट्स को भी आगे इसी तरह लेकर जा सकते हैं. So at that point, I would like to end my presentation. If you have any questions, I am here to give you answer. Yes, Ms. Rafia.
Thank you so very much, Kashfia. It was a wonderful session. And questions अभी फिलहाल तो मुझे यहाँ पे ना चार्ट में नजर आ रहे हैं ना उधर नजर आ रहे हैं, तो maybe people will put in questions. And as you yourself said, it's the last eve of this year. So people are busy, and I
maybe
think
they are having a happy New Year night or something. So that's why.
So, but yeah, we are happy as part of PTF that we were able to do a program of these 7 sessions that have been shared, and we hope that people will be looking at them during the holidays, because it is winter break. Some schools are starting from 2nd, but others are starting from 9th of January. So we hope to get questions, and we will be very happy to answer whoever puts up a question. So thank you so very much, and wish everyone a happy ending to this year and a blessed year ahead with peace, prosperity, and blessings, so that every one of us are able to, and especially prayers for Pakistan, that we are able to move ahead and have a prosperous Pakistan.
Ameen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for providing me this opportunity to be here on this platform.
Okay, so with this we end the live and the recording also. So thank you everyone, and Allah Hafiz. Have a blessed evening and blessed weekend.
Allah Hafiz.